Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoiint, and today's video is going to be a little bit different to usual, and that's because over the last 2 years I have filmed every single video on the channel in this house, from my desk setups to my TV setup, unboxings, reviews and updates. But I've lived here for about 10 years now and I was ready to move on to something new. So what I'm going to do today is show you around the new house in its pretty raw and untouched state before the work starts on it next week. But I will explain what my plans are for every room and the setups that I want to build. But any ideas or suggestions that you have as I go through the rooms, just drop them in the comments below as I'd love to hear them. Today's video is sponsored by Autonomous, whose desks I have been using for the last couple of years, but more on that later. Right, so day one in the new house, and as you can imagine, there were boxes everywhere. It wasn't a pretty sight, but over the last 2 weeks, I have tried to make most of the rooms look a little bit more usable. Now, what you will see today are kind of the temporary setups before I actually finish the rooms. Okay, let's start with one of the main rooms that will feature on the channel, and that's this room. This is what I will be calling the studio or the games room. It's going to be where I have my gaming desk set up and where my unboxing and review videos will be filmed. It clearly needs some work in here, and if you know me already, you'll know the first thing that I'm going to do is remove the fireplace. Then once I've done that, I'm going to paint the walls grey, put some grey carpets down, add some lights, blinds and some other furniture. But essentially I'm going to have my gaming setup on this wall, which hasn't changed too much from the old house. I'm still using the GQ950 UltraGear Monitor along with the PlayStation 5. I'll probably make the desk slightly wider but sticking with the all black theme. Then next to that is my shelving unit that used to be in my living room, and that just shows off a few different gaming accessories and merch that I've collected over the years. And then in the opposite corner of the room is another desk. You might recognise this one, but this will be used for my unboxing and reviews. It looks pretty untidy over here, but the plan is that when shooting these videos you'll have the backdrop of the gaming setup behind. But I think once the walls and the carpets are done and the fireplace is removed, this should look like a pretty nice room. Then where the fireplace currently is, I'm thinking of adding a very small TV unit where I can then review TVs up to 55 inches. I'll leave these 65-inch or bigger TVs for the living room setup. And this door here goes through to another room, which I will show you in a few minutes. But overall, I am really happy with the plans for this room, and once I finish this room, I will do a dedicated room tour. And then across the other side of the hallway, I've now got a study or an office. This will be the room where I work from home every day in my day job, so it kind of keeps it separate from my YouTube and my gaming setup, which will naturally mean less distractions day to day. So as you can see, it currently has fitted units top to bottom surrounding the entire room. Now, although the quality and the fit of this is incredible, I mean, it's a custom built unit to fit the space, it's just not for me. So over the coming weeks, it's going to be a real shame, but I will be taking the entire lot out. It then means I can build my old setup back in here. And to be honest, I don't imagine a room tour of this room going down too well on the channel. But again, once this room is complete with the paint and the carpets and all of my normal desk setup, I will do a tour of this room. So this next part is sponsored by Autonomous, but if you've watched any of my previous desk setup videos, you'll know that I've been using the Autonomous standing desk for the last 2 years. It has been an awesome desk for productivity, which is why I want to replicate this setup in the new office. Well, Autonomous are currently running a massive Black Friday event on their website, so if you were looking for a new desk or chair, definitely check it out. This includes up to 70% off loads of their work from home products, like their desks, chairs and other desk related accessories. They're also offering 30 secret gifts for the first 30 orders per day that are over $500, and that's if you purchase before November the 30th, 2022. During the Black Friday event, they will also have flash deals for limited products, so it's definitely worth checking back frequently. On top of that, if you buy a discounted product, you can save up to 75% on additional items that you add to your cart. As always, terms and conditions apply, but generally speaking, you could get yourself a really nice standing desk at a decent price. I've linked to their website and offers below if you want to check it out. Okay, so the kitchen is one of my favourite rooms in the house. I love the open plan kitchen, diner and snuggie area, and over the last 2 weeks it's felt like a really nice place to be with the family. Plus there is a ton of natural light that comes in all day. So there's the kitchen area, which is a decent size. I like the flooring and the layout, but I'll likely be upgrading the kitchen at some point. I was thinking of staining the oak units and maybe swapping out the silver handles for black, but we'll see how it goes. Some of the finishing touches are nice too, like the tall radiators and the oak doors. Not something that I would normally choose, but I'm beginning to like them. Now at the other end of the kitchen is the snuggie area, or the family room as we've now called it. And if you've watched my previous living room tour, you'll notice that these are the sofas that I had in there. They seem to fit in quite nicely, so instead I've ordered new sofas for the living room and I think I'll keep these in here. And on the left wall there is a custom built unit. This is definitely something that I would have had built myself, so I will be keeping it and it gives so much storage. The only thing I will likely do to it is paint it a very light grey, as it's a little too warm for my liking. And as you can see, a kitchen isn't complete without an OLED, so I've added my LG C9 OLED in, which fits perfectly in the gap. I've also added the Xbox Series X. I do need to tidy the cables up and I need to drill a hole through the back just to keep them out of sight. Now this OLED is directly opposite a window, and as I've said dozens of times in my TV reviews, don't put an OLED opposite a window, and this is why. So on those sunny days this will be a tough watch, so I'll probably need to change this in the future to a non-OLED TV. The next to that is the stove or the log burner, and I'll tell you what, with energy prices going the way that they are, I'll probably be using this a lot more than I first planned. But I absolutely love this. Not only does it heat the room and look awesome, it's double-sided so it heats both this room and next door. And that room next door is the living room. Right now it's just a large, cold, wooden room, but it is an awesome blank canvas for what I want to do to it. There's loads of natural light coming in on both ends, and there's enough space for my TV setup. So firstly, the fireplace has got to go. No, I'm just joking, this isn't going anywhere. This is going to be one of the best features in this room. But I will be painting the walls grey, and then I will be covering the floor up with carpet. I know a lot of you will say that I should keep the wooden floor, but it's just not for me. Plus I like the warm and cozy look that a carpet gives, as well as of course those Hoover lines. The plan in here is to have a sofa on one wall and then the TV set up with speakers on the opposite. I'll also buy another shelving unit to go over by the window, add an armchair, lights, prints and some other accessories. I've not fully planned out this room yet, but I know a lot will change, even the lights on the walls will go. Now this TV unit has done me for nearly 7 years now, but I am going to be making a new one. It will look very similar but slightly wider so it fits the larger TVs, and this is where those large TVs will always feature on the channel. And then there's another door at the far end of the room. Now I was going to have this blocked off, but I've decided to actually keep it, because this is the door that leads back into the games room that we saw earlier. So this will be perfect for those nights where my wife is watching TV, but I can be in here gaming, but I'm not too far away. So for most of the rooms downstairs, whether it's the office, the games room, the living room or the snuggie, I've got a good idea of what I want to do to each one, but I've not finished yet and I still need to show you upstairs. So the master bedroom is a decent size with our super king bed, and it's got loads of mirrors on one side, which is quite nice. Now if you've made it this far in, here's a little secret that you might find hard to believe. Well, do you remember my old desk setup, the wooden one? Well, did you notice that I've never called it an office or a study setup? Well, that's because it used to be in my bedroom. So every video that you've seen from me about this desk setup, in fact the bed was directly behind the setup. Now the only reason I'm telling you this now is I wanted to prove to you that as long as you have a corner in your room or your house, you can literally build a desk setup and it will still look awesome. Now my two children have started to decorate their bedrooms just the way they like it, but my daughter's has this really cool little room that she turned into a playroom, and it means she can keep all of her toys in here and close the door on all of that mess. Then there's the main bathroom, then there's the guest room, which will probably be the last room that gets worked on. Sorry to anyone who stays over. And then finally there's my son's room, which he has made a start on decorating just the way he wants. I'm sure over the coming months he'll add more things to this room, but it's unlikely you'll ever see this one again. So that's it for the inside of the house. Let me show you around the garden. So it's not a particularly big garden, but it's a nice size to keep on top of, and it's enough for the children to use. There's different areas and patios, plus this little playhouse that I will be fitting an 86-inch TV in. And when I was looking around the house, I did notice there are speakers on the wall, so I need to find out where these cables lead to in the house. But this garden will be nice in the summer, especially when I throw that barbecue for the housewarming and you're all invited to come along. Oh, and if you were wondering where all of the boxes and the rubbish is hiding from the house move, well, they're all in this double garage. My original plan was to convert this garage into another room, but I really don't think I need to do that right now. Eventually I will clear this out and create some kind of storage solution, then I'll be able to fit the car in here on a night, but until then I'll just have to leave it as it is. Well, I hope you enjoyed the first look around at my new house. It's got a long way to go, I know that, but I'm really excited to get stuck in and see how each room turns out. It obviously won't be an overnight change. It's going to take some time, but you will get to see the changes as each new video comes out on the channel, from the paint on the wall to new carpets and the furniture. But the plan is to replicate the same vibe and aesthetic as my old house, but hopefully better and on a bigger scale. Plus it's the family home that I always wanted, somewhere that I can work, chill, and my children can grow up in. Again, I really hope you enjoyed today's video, but if you drop a house tour in the comments, I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, please like, sub, and follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. Until next time.